In the old days, if you said a thing like that, that was punishable by death.
Yeah, but you're not threatening them. A lot of people are interpreting there's a threat and there's security.
Well, I'm not threatening them, but I think they're in serious trouble. I would say they're in serious trouble.
Like I said on the channel before, guys, it's not every day that I get to bring you a whole lot of good news under this wannabe authoritarian regime. But today is a new day, baby. And it appears as though Democrats have laid a trap and Donald Trump and the Republicans have walked into said trap. And I think the best part about what we are currently witnessing here is that Donald Trump is now being exposed yet again for the wannabe authoritarian that we all know that he is. Now, for those of you that don't know exactly what I'm talking about here, last week we had a handful of Democratic lawmakers come out and issue a video statement of sorts. And in that video, they said, hey, if you are serving in our military or our intelligence agencies or so on and so forth, you have a legal obligation to not follow unlawful orders. That's it. That is all. It should have been a non-controversial statement because this is exactly what we teach our service members to do. It should have been a statement that everybody could agree with. But instead, Donald Trump and the Republicans have walked into the trap and now are flailing around like a bunch of idiots because they do not know what the hell that they are doing. And to make matters even worse, guys, Donald Trump is now trying to use the military to go after one of these Democratic lawmakers. So let's go ahead and get a quick reminder of what these lawmakers said. And then we're going to take a look at how Donald Trump is melting down because his fragile, tough guy ego has shattered all over the floor. If you guys do appreciate my work and want to support the show, please do remember to subscribe.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
Like us. You all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard
and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Now, I absolutely love this for a couple of reasons, guys. First of all, the message is very simple, it is very clear, and it should be a message that everybody can agree with. We do not want our military members or our intelligence officials just doing whatever the president tells them to do. We want them to have a moral compass, and that if they know that they are going to blatantly violate a law or the Constitution, you want to give them the autonomy to disobey illegal orders. It's pretty damn simple, okay? And I think most of the country, if not all of the country, agrees with this, okay? This is non-controversial. So that's the first part. But the second part here, guys, is that Democrats, they put out this message. It kind of seemed like it was kind of out of nowhere. I don't know if it was calculated. I don't know if they were trying to get a certain win or whatever out of this message. But they are setting the tone of the conversation. Now we have Republicans, we have Fox News, we have other right-wing outlets talking about this instead of spreading all of their other right-wing propaganda. This is good work by the Democrats. First of all, they're putting out a message that everybody can agree with. And secondly, not only are they dictating the terms of the conversation, but because Republicans and Donald Trump are so damn unhinged, they just come across as a bunch of idiots when they try to respond to this video by saying that somehow these Democratic lawmakers are committing a crime, or they're acting in a seditious way, and actually that maybe they're traitors to the country because they had the gall to stand up and say that, hey, do not obey unlawful orders. So this is good on a whole bunch of different levels. Now, the only critique that I have to the message itself is that they didn't lay out specific laws that Donald Trump is breaking. I would say that blowing up ships by Venezuela definitely constitutes an unlawful order. We've got troops being deployed to city streets, and they are not allowed to be used for law enforcement capacities. So that is another. There's a whole bunch of different things that we could have picked to list out in the video. I'm not exactly sure why they chose not to, but that is probably my only critique for the video itself. And I just want to remind everybody before we get into Donald Trump's response here, just remember from Donald Trump's first term, these are the types of orders that he wanted to give, but were never carried out because there were still some sane people around in his first administration.
He's going to finally give a direct order to deploy paratroopers into the streets of Washington, D.C., and I'm thinking with weapons and bayonets. And this would be horrible.
What specifically was he suggesting that the U.S. military should do to these protesters?
He says, can't you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the legs or something. And he's suggesting that that's what we should do, that we should bring in the troops and shoot the protesters.
The commander-in-chief was suggesting that the U.S. military shoot protesters.
Yes, in the streets of our nation's capital. That's right.
Yeah, guys, it's just absolutely insane. Luckily, in Donald Trump's first term, we had some of these establishment or normal Republicans that didn't carry out this authoritarian bullshit. But now Donald Trump has surrounded himself with a whole bunch of sycophants, and it's much more likely that these types of orders could be given to our troops. That is the last thing that we want to happen in this country. And Donald Trump thinks that he's going to be able to get away with it. So I think the Democrats were right to come out and say, hey, and just remind our troops, remind our intelligence officers that, hey, if you are given an unlawful order, you have a duty to disobey that order. Now, before we go ahead and get into how Donald Trump is using the military to try to go after one of these Democrats, here is what he said on the phone with Brian Kilmeade, where he's trying to say that the message that these Democrats put out is somehow worthy of a death sentence. I'm not even joking, guys. Let's listen.
I'll tell you what they said is, and it was, I don't know about the modern day things, because, modern day is a lot softer, but in the old days, if you said a thing like that, that was punishable by death.
Yeah, but you're not threatening them. A lot of people are interpreting that as a threat and their security.
Well, I'm not threatening them, but I think they're in serious trouble. I would say they're in serious trouble. I'm not threatening death, but I think they're in serious trouble. In the old days, it was death.
Do you worry, Mr. President?
Seditious behavior.
Do you worry
that was a big deal.
Do you worry
Today, nothing's a big deal. Today's a different world, okay? It's a softer, it's a meeker, milder world.
Yeah, so even when you have Brian Kilmeade trying to talk Trump off the ledge of these insane statements, he just can't do it. He says, well, guys, I'm not threatening them, but they sure are in some big trouble. And back in the day, these guys would have been executed. This is seditious behavior. Everybody knows that. And that would have been punishable by death in times past. Just think about how insane that is, guys. We have Democrats coming out and saying, do not obey unlawful, illegal orders. And Donald Trump is taking the other side of that argument and saying that the Democrats are wrong to put out such a reminder. And he even goes a step further by saying that, hey, I'm going to have Pete Hegseth start looking into what we can do legally here.
I think it's a very serious violation of the law.
I know Todd Blanche seems to be looking into it. Your assistant deputy, or your
well,
deputy
I think
attorney.
Pete Hegseth is looking into it too. I know they're looking into it militarily. I don't know for a fact, but I think the military is looking into it. The military courts.
So yeah, guys, here we've got Donald Trump saying that these Democrats, because they put out a message of telling our troops not to obey unlawful orders, that we need to have Pete Hegseth and the Department of Defense look into the legalities of how we can punish these Democrats because Donald Trump and these idiot Republicans just didn't like what they had to say. I mean, it is truly insane, guys. Everybody in our country should agree that we do not want our troops, we do not want servants of the country obeying unlawful orders. And it is insane to me that because Donald Trump wants to keep up this faux masculine bullshit, that he's unwilling to agree with Democrats because in some twisted way he thinks it'll make him look weak or something. It is insane. So let's move forward a little bit, because here's what the Department of Defense posted on Monday morning. They said the Department of War has received serious allegations of misconduct against Captain Mark Kelly, USN retired, in accordance with Uniform Code of Military Justice 10 USC 688 and other applicable regulations. A thorough review of these allegations has been initiated to determine further actions, which may include recall to active duty for court-martial proceedings or administrative measures. Now, this is a big deal, guys, because Mark Kelly, as you probably know, he is retired. But there is some administrative way that they could recall him to active duty. That way they could court-martial him. So here you've got the Department of Defense coming out and saying that we are going to try to initiate military legal proceedings against Mark Kelly. They go on to say that the Department of War reminds all individuals that military retirees remain subject to the UCMJ for applicable offenses, and federal laws such as 18 USC 2387 prohibit actions intended to interfere with the loyalty, morale, or good order and discipline of the armed forces. I mean, this is wild. All service members are reminded that they have a legal obligation under the UCMJ to obey lawful orders, and that orders are presumed to be lawful. A service member's personal philosophy does not justify or excuse the disobedience of an otherwise lawful order. So here they're trying to say that because Mark Kelly was one of these Democratic lawmakers who were involved in making this video statement, that he is somehow interfering with the loyalty or the morale, or what was the other one they said here? Or good order and discipline of the armed forces. Just imagine how insane that is, guys. He's telling people, hey, we're just reminding you that you have an obligation to not follow unlawful orders. And we Democrats, we have your back. That's all they said. Now, if it would be one thing if they came out and said, hey, you guys need to disobey orders from Donald Trump. But that unlawful part is key. Do not obey unlawful orders. And now we've got the military being used as a sword for Donald Trump so he can continue to go after his perceived enemies. Now, I think Ruben Gallego summed it up pretty nicely here. Let's see what he had to say. He is also somebody who has served in our military, I believe.
This is fucking insane. We should all point out how fucking insane this is. Hey, this is Ruben Gallego. I'm traveling through Arizona right now, and I just received the news that the Department of Defense is starting an investigation against my seatmate, Mark Kelly. This is fucking insane. We should all point out how fucking insane this is. And, you know, these guys are trying to say that they're not acting like fascists. They're not trying to give as much power to this president as a king, and they should stop acting like it. Mark Kelly's a patriot. There's no reason why they're going after him. He was doing his duty and just reminding people about their rights as service members. And, you know, Secretary Hegseth, all these guys, fuck you guys. You're not going to be able to scare us. We have a right to defend the Constitution of the United States. We have a right to tell other service members that they have a right to ignore illegal orders, and you're not going to be able to intimidate us.
And that is exactly right, guys. Fuck Pete Hegseth. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck every single Republican who is lining up behind Donald Trump to go after his perceived enemies with our military. This is fucking insane. It is insane that we have Democratic lawmakers just reminding people to not obey unlawful orders, and you have this fascist party known as the Republicans, a wannabe authoritarian leader in Donald Trump, taking the other side of that argument and coming out and saying, hey, these Democrats, they're guilty of sedition. They're traitors to this country because they were reminding our service members to not obey unlawful orders. That is just fucking insane, guys. That is Donald Trump's America for you. If these people if they want us to stop calling them fascists, maybe they should stop doing fascist shit. I've said it 100 times at this point. This is some fascist shit. Donald Trump feels threatened. He feels belittled. I don't know what exactly the emotion is here, but he's got this grandiose vision of himself where he thinks he should be able to point at something and that thing shall be done, like the wannabe little petty tyrant that he is. And now we've got Democratic lawmakers coming out and laying that trap, and they have walked straight into it. Now, of course, we don't know how this is going to turn out. Mark Kelly is a decorated naval officer, I believe it was. He was an astronaut. He has served our country honorably. And so for this administration to be going after him, it just seems like political suicide to me. I just don't know how this turns out well for them. I just don't even know why they would want to pick this fight in the first place. Because I would imagine at least 80% of Americans agree that our service members should only follow lawful orders. And now they're going to try to use the military to recall him and court-martial him because he wanted to remind our service members that is what we teach them. So we will definitely be keeping an eye on it, guys. This is just absolutely insane. This is Trump's America. This is what we were warning about before he got elected for a second time. He wants to be a king. He wants to be a dictator. And these are the types of things that he does to try to establish that fact. In no world is it okay that we have our military being used as a personal weapon of the president to go after his perceived enemies. That is just, I don't have any words for it, man. It is just wild. So I will leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We are building something here on the left that pushes back against this MAGA media machine that just launders all of this authoritarian nonsense for the Trump administration every single day. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to smash that subscribe button. Of course, if you guys want to go a step above and beyond that, you can actually help me produce these videos by becoming a member right here on YouTube for as little as $3 a month. Or you can head over to politiscape.substack.com where you can have my content delivered directly to your inbox every single day without the doom scrolling, without the algorithms. And the cool part about Substack is I own the data over there. So having you sign over there is a huge, huge win for me. And I just want to remind everybody, we are about a month out from our big event down in Phoenix in December 20th to be exact, for the Unfuck America Tour. So make sure to hit that link in my bio below if you want to purchase tickets to that event. And of course, guys, I need a little help raising a little bit of money so I can get myself down to that event. So whether you got $2, $5, $10, whatever you can spare to help me get down to the Unfuck America Tour event, I would be greatly, greatly appreciative. And as I will continue to say, guys, this has got to be a team effort as we continue the fight against this authoritarian regime. So until the next one, guys, everybody keep that chin up, and let's put in that work today so we're cleaning up in the midterms tomorrow. I'll see you guys on the next one.